Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting our network administrator interview series. And we begin with the most basic question. What does a network administrator do? So let's understand this in simplest way possible. A network administrator is the person who manages all the networking system in a company. Their main job is to keep the network running smooth, fast and safe every single day so that everybody can work smoothly without any interruption. Think of it in this way. Every office has a computer, printer, phones and internet. And all of these are connected to each other. The network administrator is the person who makes sure that connection never breaks. Without interruption, everybody can work. Imagine you are in a big office. One morning you come in and try to send an email, but nothing is working. Internet is down, you are not able to send the email. And if you try to print anything, printers are not working. Employee cannot access their files. The whole office is stuck. Now imagine one person walk in, open their laptop, check the network and find the problem and fix it in 20 minutes only. And after fixing the problem, everyone goes back to the work. That is what a network administrator do. They are like a guardian of the network. Just like a policeman controls traffic on the road, the network administrator controls traffic on the network. So after fixing the problem, normal traffic goes one way, urgent traffic gets priority, and everything moves in order. So what exactly does a network administrator do every day? Number 1. Managing routers and switches. The router connects your office to the internet and switch connect all the devices inside the company to each other. And the network administrator makes sure all these devices are correctly connected and working so that people can work smoothly. They can access the shared resources of the company and they can access internet as well. Monitoring internet performance. The network administrator watches the network speed every day. If the internet speed becomes slow or data is not reaching correctly, they find the reason and they try to fix it as soon as possible. Number 3. Assigning IP addresses. Every device on a network needs an IP address, whether it is your computer, your network printer, router. So the admin assigns these addresses, often using a system called DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, which does it automatically when a new device joins the network. Without DHCP, network administrator have to assign IP address manually. Number 4. Troubleshooting network problems. When something goes wrong, the admin uses a special tool to test the network. He finds the problem and solve it. He uses the devices like cable tester, network sniffers, routing tables, and these are the tools they use to fix the problem, to troubleshoot the network issues. Number 5. Maintaining security. The network administrator makes sure only the right people can access the right data. They set up a firewall and check that data is moving safely across the network or not. So without a network admin, even a small network problem can shut down an entire company. That is how important this role is. Now let me quickly summarize the advantages of having a network administrator. Network stays up and running at all times. Problems are found and fixed quickly. Data moves safely and securely across the network. New devices are added to the network smoothly. Company never lost time due to network failure. In simple words, network administrator is the backbone of a company IT infrastructure. Without them, nothing connects. Without them, nothing works. They are the most important person for keeping your data moving safely. Now let's talk about firewall. What is firewall? This is one of the most common interview question. A firewall is a security system for your network. It sits between your internal network and the outside internet. Firewall main job is to check every piece of data coming in and going out. It allows safe traffic and it blocks dangerous traffic. Think of it as a security guard of your network. Imagine you work in a big corporate office building and there is only one main gate to enter. A security guard stands at the gate every single day. When someone tries to enter the building, the guards check their ID. If they are an employee or a valid visitor, they are allowed. If they are an unknown person or someone suspicious, they are blocked. does not let everyone in just because they knocked at the gate. Now imagine the same building but with no security guard. Anyone can walk in, a thief can enter, a hacker can enter, your important files, your data, computers, everything is at risk. So that is exactly what happened to your network without a firewall. Without a firewall, hacker can send malicious code directly to your device. They can steal your data very easily because no one is checking and no one is stopping them. But when you have a firewall, every data packet that tries to enter your network is checked. Normal traffic is allowed, malicious code is blocked, unauthorized requests are rejected. So firewall is your security guard at the gate of your network. Now let's understand how does a firewall actually work. Step 1. When data travels from the internet to your network, it first hits the firewall. The firewall does not just let it pass. The firewall checks each data packets one by one. It looks at where the data is coming from, it looks at where the data is going, and it checks the type of request being made. So step 3, the firewall compares this information against its rule. These rules tell the firewall what is allowed and what is not. Network administrator configured some rules in the firewall that which request should be allowed and which request should be blocked. So these rules tells the firewall what is allowed and what is not. If the data looks suspicious or matches a blocked rule, it is stopped immediately. So there are two ways a firewall can be managed. Automatic firewall. In automatic firewalls, filters are set in advance. It works quickly and automatically. It checks every packet without any human needs. So this is fast and improves cybersecurity greatly. Admin managed firewall. Here the network administrator manually sets and updates the rules. This is slower, it requires more effort, but it gives full control to the administrator. Most companies use a combination of both. So firewall is very important. Internet is not a safe place. Every second thousands of hackers try to break your network, they try to get into your network, they send virus, malicious code and unauthorized requests. So without a firewall, your network is completely open to these attacks. A firewall is your first line of defense. It stops the bad traffic before it even enters to your network. It protects your data, your device and your users. No firewall means unsafe network, firewall means safe network. It is very simple. Let's quickly list the key advantages of a firewall. Firewall blocks the hackers and malicious attacks before they reach to your network. It filters unwanted and dangerous traffic automatically. It protects your sensitive company data from being stolen, and it monitors all incoming and outgoing traffics in real time. Firewall improves overall cybersecurity of the entire organization. It works automatically so your network stays protected 24/7. Firewall is like a security guard. It checks every visitor, it blocks every threat, and it keeps your data safe every single minute. With a firewall, only the right people get through. The third question is, what is MAC address? Every network administrator must know this answer. And today I will make it so simple. MAC stands for Media Access Control. A MAC address is a physical address. It is assigned to every network interface card. We call it NIC. Every device that connects to a network has an NIC. And every NIC has its own unique MAC address. It uniquely identifies your device on a local network. So any device that is connected with the internet, maybe your phone, your router, your computer, your servers, all the devices are having a MAC address, a unique address to identify each other's. And you will not find any two devices which have the same MAC address. It is fixed, it is permanent, it never changes. Imagine you are at a big government office. Every person who enters that office has a fingerprint. No two people have the same fingerprint. Even identical twins have different fingerprints. And your fingerprints never changes throughout your life. This is exactly what a MAC address is for you, for your device. It is the unique fingerprint of your network card. So let us go one step deeper with another story. Imagine you are living in a big apartment building. Every apartment has a flat number. That is your IP address. And the flat number can change. You can move to a different flat. But your fingerprint, that is your MAC address, it stays with you no matter where you go. It is permanent. It cannot be changed. This is the key difference between the IP address and a MAC address. IP address is flexible. It can change. MAC address is fixed. It never changes. So let's understand how does a MAC address actually work on a network. Step 1. Device joins the network. When your laptop or phone connects to the network, it introduces itself using its MAC address. It says, "Hello, I am device with this MAC address and I want to connect with you." So the other device gets the request, and if they find it safe, they accept the request. Inside your office building or home network, devices talk to each other using MAC addresses. When device A wants to send data to device B, it first sends out a MAC address request. It is basically asking, "Who has this MAC address? Please respond." The correct device responds and says, "Found you. That is me." Now the two devices can communicate directly. Number 3, the switch uses MAC addresses. All the devices in the company, they are connected with one switch. Let's suppose in a company there are multiple departments. In every department there are 50 computers. All those 50 computers of every department connected to a particular switch so that they can share the data, they can share the files, they can share the resources. So your network switch keeps a routing table. This table has 2 columns, MAC address and port number. When data arrives, the switch checks this table. It finds the correct MAC address and sends the data to the right port. Only the correct device receives the data. No confusion, no mistakes. This is how MAC address make local communication accurate and fast. Now let me quickly compare both so it is crystal clear. IP address is like your flat number in apartment. It is publicly known. It can change when you move or reconnect to a network. MAC address is like your fingerprint. It is a physical identity. It is permanently burned into your network, in your network card at the factory. It never changes. It ensures that correct device is found locally every single time. So MAC address is very important because in the local network, IP addresses alone are not enough. Device need a permanent, unique way to identify each other physically. MAC address provide exactly that. Without MAC address, switches would not know where to send data and data would go to the wrong device. Communication inside the network would break down completely. Now let's understand the key advantages of MAC addresses. Every device has a unique MAC address, no duplicates anywhere in the world. It is permanent, it never changes, making identification reliable. Switches use MAC addresses to deliver data to exactly the right device. Switch works at a local network level. It provides fast and efficient communication. Switch helps in network security. Network admin can block or allow a specific device by MAC addresses. And switches works even before an IP address is assigned to the device. So a MAC address is the permanent physical fingerprint of your device. It lives inside your network card. It never changes. It is permanent. And the question number 4, we are going to discuss what are the common networking ports and their use cases. A networking port is a specific number assigned to a specific service. It is not a physical port like a USB port. It is a virtual door number on your device. Every device running on a network uses a specific port number. That port number tells the network where exactly to deliver data. In simple words, IP address tells the network which building to go. Port numbers tell the network which door to knock on inside the building. In a computer there are thousands of applications, and if somebody is sending request from another device, So the port number tells the other device that request should go which application. Imagine a big apartment building in the city. The building has one address and 100 main streets. That is the IP address. It gets you to the building. So main address you can consider as an IP address. It gets you to the building. But inside the building there are many apartments. Apartment 20, apartment 22, apartment 80, apartment 443. And each apartment is used for different purpose. Apartment 20 is for file transfer. Apartment 22 is for the secure remote access. Apartment 80 is for the browsing website. Apartment 443 is for secure internet browsing. So now when a delivery man comes with a package, he first goes to 100 main street. That is the IP address. Then he checks the apartment number, that is the port number, and he delivers the package to exactly the right apartment. So correct building plus correct apartment equal correct delivery. That is exactly how networking ports work. IP address plus port number equal correct data delivery. Every time without confusion. Now let's understand how ports work in a real network communication. When you open a website on the internet browser, your computer sends a request. That request has two parts. First, the IP address of the website server. Second, the port number of the service you want. For a normal website, port number 80 is used. For a secure website, port number 443 is used. So the server receives the request, it checks the port number, it knows exactly which service you want to connect. It sends back the correct response. Your web page loads on the screen, and this all happens in milliseconds. Every single time you browse the internet, there are two types of communication that use ports. TCP, orderly communication, data is sent in order, every packet is confirmed received. Like a registered courier, you get a confirmation when the packet arrives, when data is transferred successfully or not. Example, loading a web page on port number 80. UDP is faster than TCP. It gives instant communication. Data is sent very fast, no confirmation needed, like shouting information across a room. Fast but sometime missed. Example, DNS lookup on port number 53. Let's understand the uses of common ports one by one. Port number 20 and 21 is used for file transfer. Port number 20 and 21 used for FTP, file transfer protocol. This port is used for uploading and downloading files to the server. Now imagine you are sending a large document file to your company server. So there, port number 20 and 21 on the FTP, they handles that transfer. Port number 22 for SSH secure shell. This port is used for secure remote access to a device. Imagine your server is in the data center in the other city and you need to manage it from your office. So SSH give us the feature on port number 22 so that you can connect to the server in the other city and you can give support. You can work on the server that is located in the other city right from your own laptop. Port number 23 is used for telnet. This is the older version of remote access. It also allows remote connections to devices, but it is not secure. Data is sent without encryption. So if data is sent without encryption, then there is no security. Anyone on the network can read it. That is why SSH replaced telnet in modern network. Port number 23 is now considered a legacy and less secure option. Port number 25 used for SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This port number is used for sending emails from a client. Every time you compose an email and you try to send it to someone, when you hit the send on your email, SMTP on port number 25 carries that email from your device to the mail server to deliver the other person. Port number 53 used for DNS, domain name system. This is one of the most important ports. When you type www.google.com in the internet browser, your computer does not understand the name. It only understands the IP addresses. DNS on port number 53 translates google.com into its IP address. Then your browser gets to know where you want to connect. And this happens every time you visit any website. Port number 80 works for HTTP Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This port is used for accessing normal websites. When you visit a website that starts with HTTP, your browser uses port number 80 there. But this is unencrypted. Again, this is not secure and the data is not protected. Port number 110, POP3, Post Office Protocol version 3. This port is used for downloading emails to your local device. Imagine you open your email app on your laptop. POP3 on the port number 110 downloads all your email on your local computer from the server. If you install Microsoft Office in your computer, you configure your email on POP3, then all the emails will be downloaded in the PST format on your local device. Once the email downloaded, they are stored locally on your machine. Port number 143 works for IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol. This port is also used for emails. But unlike POP3, IMAP keeps your email synced on the server. So you can access the same email from your phone, laptop and tablets. All devices show the same inbox. This is why most modern email apps use IMAP on port number 143. Port number 443. Port number 443 used for HTTPS. HTTPS is secure than HTTP. This is the secure version of port number 80. When you visit a website that starts with HTTPS, that means your browser uses port number 443 and the connection is fully protected, fully encrypted. Your data is safe, it is protected. HTTPS used for all the online banking, shoppings and login pages that use port number 443. It always checks for HTTPS before entering any sensitive information. So why are port numbers so important? Because one server handles many services at the same time. It runs a web server, an email server, a file transfer service all together. Without port number, the server would not know which incoming data belongs to which device, which request going to which application. So port number organizes all this traffic perfectly. Each device gets its own dedicated door. Data always reaches to the right service. No mix up, no confusion. So the advantages of networking ports are: each service in your system gets a unique port number. No confusion in data delivery. Multiple services can run on one server at the same time. Port number helps firewall to block or allow specific types of traffic. By the port number, firewall can block suspicious traffic on your network. Admin can close unused ports to improve security. Ports make network communication organized, fast and accurate. And because of the port number, troubleshooting becomes easy. If a service fails, check the port first. So before I close, here is a quick memory trick for the interview. Port number 20 and 21 work for FTP, file transfer. Port number 22 work for SSH, secure remote access. Port number 23 work for telnet, old remote access, and it is not secure. Port number 25 work for SMTP, for sending emails. Port number 53 used for DNS, for the website name to IP address translation. Port number 80 used for HTTP to access the normal websites. Port number 110 for POP3, it downloads the email on your local device. Port number 143 for the IMAP, it sync email across devices. Port number 443 for HTTPS to access the secure websites. A networking port is a virtual door number on your device. IP address gets the data to the right building, port number gets the data to the right door. Together, they make sure every piece of data reaches exactly the right service on exactly the right device every single time. So network administrator must know these ports number by heart. They are the foundation of how the internet works. I hope the apartment building story made it very easy to understand and remember. and we will keep this series going strong. Like, share and subscribe if this is helping you. See you in the next one. Thank you.